What's happening, folks? What's happening? Welcome back. It's Friday, end of the week, and we got that's a 5. Part 5 today, guys, of HabitLand. And today's going to be a doozy. Championship principle, guys. Let's rock and roll today. We got some great stories to talk about. First things first, get these shares out. Few more and we're done, guys. I'm getting quick with it. Few more, guys. Alright, we got them out, loving you guys, okay, let's get still rocking and rolling now. Alright guys, thank you very much, I'm glad you guys are still rocking with me this week. We are in HabitLand Part 5, we're bringing it to a wrap today, guys. Again, everything's leading up to you guys having the chance to view live over Facebook, or if you make it to New York City, Greatness Awaits Conference, where I get a chance to speak about HabitLand in front of a beautiful group of people who are just trying to figure out how to awaken that greatness that's inside of them and then stop waiting on it and really go out and get it. So let's get the head start on that right now. Talk about HabitLand. We've covered a lot. We've talked about what is HabitLand, why HabitLand, what's the worst part about HabitLand, what's the hardest tool to learn about HabitLand, right? We talked about how horrible the first thoughts can be. They're filled with your triple E's. You got your egos, emotions, and your experiences. We talked about the tool that you're going to need to be able to help escape out of HabitLand. We did that yesterday, right? And that's going to be about you being able to understand first thought wrong, second thought right. But the hardest part, if you guys that watched me yesterday, you remember what is it? Exactly. Nothing's going to happen immediately. Nothing's going to happen within the world, and you got to ask yourself, is this something you're going to be in the long haul for to be able to make this real change that you're trying to base around your thoughts? Or secondly, are you trying to make a change within the world or within you? That's the biggest things you got to ask yourself. Now today, we're going to bring all this up into a neat little bow, guys. And what I want to talk to you guys about today was the champion principle. Right? And we're going to talk about this in a couple different ways, but a lot of you guys, if you've been following me, you've heard me talk about one particular concept, and that concept is mindfulness. Now, I gave you guys a brief definition of it beforehand, but I want to go ahead and make sure I reiterate it right now so you guys are fully aware heading into today's show. Coach G's Radical Man Show here is that mindfulness is being present on purpose in the moment without any judgment. No good, bad, no right, no wrong. It's just, hey, look, I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not concerned with the future. What's in front of me right now? How am I really judging what's in front of me right now? Am I judging it based on my emotions? Am I judging it based on my experiences? All those first thought thinkings that go into it? Right? Again, this is all part of habits. This is all part of your thinking. So with mindfulness, I'm asking you guys to say, okay, well, I'm going to be present in this moment, whether it's good or bad. I don't care if you just got broken up with or you just proposed to your wife. By the way, congrats to Brother Aaron. But still, I don't know which one it might be for you guys, but wherever it is, you got to be present in that moment. And more importantly, guys, the biggest part is that you got to be there without any judgment. Now, I'm going to stop right there because I want you guys to really absorb that. Being present in the moment without any judgment. That's pretty freaking hard. And I'll tell you the truth, it gets harder the closer the people outside of you are going to be connected to you. So what do I mean? The guy that walks past me on the street, bumps me while he's walking, doesn't give me 2 words of regard, doesn't say excuse me, nothing like that. I literally might have a half a second thought, and then it's whatever. I'm back on about my day. However, if I come home and my children have lied to me about something, right? Maybe they said the room was clean and it wasn't clean. Maybe they told me they did something and they didn't do it. Maybe they said they got permission and didn't really get permission. But when that contact, when that relationship is so much more closer to me, well, it's hard to be pretty freaking mindful then. It's hard to really look at this child, your spouse, your partner, your good friend, your brother, whoever it might be, and say that, man, I got to look at you without any judgment. And that's pretty hard. I mean, listen, it's hard to do it outside of us. It's 10 times harder to do it with us. I mean, think about it, guys. Imagine you're playing for a team. It's one thing to maybe say, you know what? My dude missed a shot. I'm going to let it go. It's a whole nother thing when we miss the shots. Guys, that's the big part about this right now. You see, what we're going to talk about today with mindfulness and why I call it the championship principle, I'm going to illustrate this perfectly for you, because the beautiful part about mindfulness is that if you look at that exact moment when it clicks in and you take a look at everything before and you take a look at everything potentially in the future, it won't match up. You won't think that it's supposed to be how it's going to be. But again, if you are mindful, and better yet, if the person that is orchestrating everything, so if it's just you in your life, I need you to be mindful. If you have a place of business you go to every single day, well then your boss needs to be able to demonstrate mindfulness to be able to carry out that particular department, that organization, that company. Doesn't matter how you call it, how you look at it. That is all what mindfulness is about. And today I want you guys to take a look at some pretty key examples, because here's the deal. We can all pretty much be mindful when there's no pressure. Think about it. There's no judgment when there's no pressure. I was just looking at a friend of mine's post earlier today on Facebook, right? And she says, you know what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe, hey Frenchie, I see you. But she's like, I can't believe that, it's the beginning of the school year and my son's birthday is coming up. What is wrong with me? Why did I do this? Why did I do this? Right now, if those two things weren't present, she wouldn't care anything about what's happening today in August. August left me a completely just regular, normal day for her. But it's not. You see, she got hit with a little bit of a chaotic moment, and we all have them. That was a very light example, but we all have them, different degrees, right? That cause us to go from being mindful to being in a place of habit land. And I want to get into that. We want to make sure that you get out of this place. How do we do it? Championship principle. Control your thoughts. Be present in the moment. No good, no bad, no right, no wrong. It's just what is the next right thing, the next best step to do right now. Right? So here's the deal, guys. Make this a little bit fun, right? I know you guys like hearing me rattle all the time, or maybe you do. That's why you chime in. Good. But I want to give you guys 4 great examples of this championship principle. And what I got listed here, and you guys can feel free, I want you to Google along with me, do whatever you want to do. I got the 2015 Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors, right? If you're a basketball fan, you guys are going to catch on pretty quickly. I got my 2016 Cavs, and I'm sorry I even put the word "mine" with it. Neither one of these are my teams. I'll make that perfectly clear. I'm not the bandwagon guy, but it's a great lesson that each of these teams have illustrated. We got our 2017 Super Bowl and really the Super Bowl champs, right? The Patriots, right? Again, not my team. Not my team. But what they did, we're going to talk about it. And then last but not least, guys, probably the best example that I have here, and I would ask you guys, like, look, I don't care if you've never seen any sports at all. Like, you may not watch sports, you treat it like it's the plague. There are so many lessons involved in what happened with the 1968 college championship game. This has been billed the game of the century, guys. Seriously, it's a great view, a lot of lessons in it. But let's jump into this, right? We're talking about the championship principle. And when we go back and talk about mindfulness being this principle, again, what's the definition of it? Being present in the moment, on purpose, without any judgment. So let's start right here, guys. 2015 Warriors. Who knows what's special about the 2015 Golden State Warriors? What happened with them that year? Anybody know? A couple of you guys do. Exactly. They went out and won the championship. Right? But it's not so much that they won the championship. You see, the great thing about the Warriors, guys, what I love about the Warriors, guys, is that, like, before here, they pretty much sucked. Guys, like, they never made it past, I think, like, the second round. And for the most part, they were getting booted out the first round. I mean, the guy that is sitting here, that is like breaking every shooting record that is right now, you know, this brother, Steph Curry, he wasn't even on the playing field. He was hurt half the doggone time. Like, this guy, they were deciding who do we get rid of in the backcourt. Is it going to be him? Is it going to be Monte Ellis? And guys, look, if you was to look at the Warriors in 2014, based on their history, and then based on what they already done and try to assume their future, you don't got championship in front. So then, 2014 season ends. We're in the summer of 2015. They do one special thing that helps them get to the championship. Anybody know what it is? What would you normally expect has to happen for a team that gets booted out first and second round to now all of a sudden go to the NBA championships? Right, they gotta go out here and like get like a guy that's on the dream team or something, right? Like normally when we see that kind of growth in a team, it's because they acquired a particular player. I'm getting ready to go to it, it's right there. But because they acquired a particular player. Right? And this player has such a great amount of skill set that he just completely changes the landscape of that team and their success that they're going to have moving forward. Didn't happen with them. Warriors didn't get not one single new player. The only thing the Warriors did was they got a coach. Message. They got a coach. And here's what's great about this coach. This is why I love being a coach myself, because of the transparency we get to have with this. This guy came in and he says, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. Number one, I ain't coached a single day of basketball. Played with a couple of great teams. He was a member of the Chicago Bulls team. Played with the Spurs. Learned under a lot of great people. But this dude ain't never called one play in an NBA game. Secondly, he says, you know what? I know I can't get you every X and O's, but there's four things that I want you guys to walk out onto the field with and onto the basketball court with every single night. He says, I need you guys to have joy for the game. I need you to have compassion for the game. Look at you. I see you, friend. Frenchie, I see you, Frenchie. Talk about the Spurs. Gotta have joy, gotta have compassion. He wanted them to be competitive. But lastly, he wanted them to practice mindfulness. Guys, 2014, the Warriors didn't break any shooting records. It wasn't happening. All of a sudden, 2015 comes, and they're throwing this daggone ball up from every corner of the court. Nobody heard about Steph Curry shooting up threes. Nobody thought about Klay Thompson scoring 60 points in 3 quarters. Nobody talked about Draymond Green being like this defensive stalwart and defensive player of the year. None of that happened, guys. I'm here to tell you right now, none of that happened in 2014. What happened from 2014 to 2015? Very simple. Coach came in and said, look, I need you to get out of HabitLand when you're out there on the court. You have got to stop thinking about how bad you messed up on the previous play, on the defensive lapse, and on you missing the shot, and get back to what's in front of you. And I don't even want you having that ball in your hand thinking you got to make game winners all the time. Just shoot the ball. Be present in that moment and own that moment. Well, lo and behold, now we got a team that's breaking almost every scoring record there is. Like it's getting so right now, people are changing the landscape of how they even go about constructing their teams to be able to deal with the Warriors. I mean, they just came out of nowhere, guys. Like I told you before, the year before, I think they made it to maybe the first, maybe the second round, but they was out. Like there wasn't a single person looking at them saying, guys, look out for them next year. They're going to be a real contender. They didn't come out of a single player, coach's, owner's mouth. Nobody ever thought that. Not at all. All of a sudden, they get one coach who ain't never coached one game of basketball that tells them to practice mindfulness. And now, we got a team that's going out here and they win the championship. And not just win the championship, I got to say they beat a pretty great player on the way to winning that championship. So now let's fast forward a bit. Let's take it ahead just 1 year. Just 1 year. And what happens? We get the 2016 Cavs. Now, let's get back to the Warriors. Did the Warriors lose the beat? Very good, Frenchie. Thank you, girl. Did the Warriors miss a beat? Nah, as a matter of fact, they kicked that bad boy up some. I mean, look, they went from winning 62 games, I believe, 61, 62 games, to smashing the NBA record, 73-9. These guys won, like, I think, 24, 25 games, like in a freaking row. Like they're on fire. Everybody. What's the big deal? Hold on now. Year before, nobody thought they was going to go anywhere. Now this year, everybody's saying, I don't know how a team's going to beat them. Yeah, 2016, that was the Warriors. I don't know what team's going to beat them. I mean, look, they got unanimous MVP coming out of them in Steph Curry. Like I told you, Klay Thompson, the backcourt's coming along right now. Every player is stepping into their roles right now. I mean, heck, even their head coach, team is doing so great, the head coach doesn't even coach half the season. He got health issues. He's out. But let's fast forward to the finals. You see, here's the problem, guys, and why I want you to be clear on mindfulness, because mindfulness, it is so golden and crystal clear when we're in a place of like almost chaos and no real expectations. You see, then a lot of times we don't got a problem saying, well, look, just let it go. I didn't go to the championships last year. Nobody thinks I'm going to go to the championships this year. Let the balls fly and we deal with it however it happens. And lo and behold, they get the championship. Well, now they got expectations. You see, now they got standards right now going on in their life. Right now, these are the Golden State Warriors, right? They ain't just like the Warriors of the Bay Area, California. These are Golden State Warriors. These are the Warriors that won 24 games straight. These are the Warriors that are out here smashing Jordan's record, right? For in terms of the Bulls team and how many wins they get in a year. So when the playoffs came around, what was the presumptive notion? You're right, Warriors winning the championship. As a matter of fact, let's fast forward a bit. We get to the finals, 7-game series. The Warriors are up 3-1. Guys, everybody has already stopped and gotten their like articles together because they have convinced themselves there is no way the Cavs are going to come back and win. Like no team in NBA history has come back to win when they're down 3-1 in a in a 7-game series to run off 3 games in a row and do it on the road. What happened, guys? The Cavs looked up and said, what the hell did the Warriors do last year? Plain and simple. You see, when the Cavs was down 3-1, guys, were they able to sit up here and bitch and moan about what happened in games 1 and 2 and 4? No. As a matter of fact, the beauty for the Cavs is that they was already written off. Cavs had to win just 1 freaking game. That was all they had to do. Win 1 game. Go on to the next game. And guys, that's all they did. They kept it right in front. No judgment. They said all we got is today. We can't worry about the mistakes that put us in this hole. We can't worry about being so damn perfect that we get out of this hole. We got to just focus on this one moment in front of me right now. Can I stay here in the midst of the chaos? You're here against a juggernaut team. 73-9. As a matter of fact, in their head, they ready to get this game back to Golden State so they can win it at home because they won it on the road the year before. And if anybody saw that last game, again, you don't even got to really know a lot about sports. But if you saw that Game 7, it was so clear who was approaching that game without any judgment. You see, unfortunately for the Warriors, they went from playing mindfully to playing assumptively. We've all heard it before, right? When you make an assumption, what do you end up doing? Making an ass out of you and umption. Well, this time they got to include the whole damn team with it. Because they just assume that, you know what? The scoring burst is going to happen. They assume, well, you know what? We're a 73-9 team. We're going to win a game. Like, I mean, guys, we ain't lost 3 games all year long, back to back to back. We assume we're going to automatically pull out a game. There was no assumption that happened with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And guys, look, this ain't even my team. I'll tell you flat out, like, there's no other team I look forward to seeing getting beat more. It's the Cavs. But what they did here, guys, look, as upset as I was walking out of Game 7, what they did here is undeniable. They looked at an insurmountable odds directly in the face and said, you know what? My job today is not to conquer you today. My job today is to win 1 game. Just 1 game, guys. A lot of you guys might remember, we're going to keep going. 2017 Super Bowl. Right? I mean, so many examples. What did our Patriots do? I said ours, right? I'm a Giants fan, so like half the Patriots already hate me as it is, right? Because we're the ones that stop you guys all the time. It's okay. It's okay. Moving on. Super Bowl, though. Patriots. What was it? In the first half, what was the score? It's like what? 25-zip, 25-3? Third quarter? 28-3? If you remember, Tom Brady, I loved it when I saw the interview. Tom Brady, he said, what was apparent to him was that not that they were being outplayed, was that we just didn't score. He said everything else I didn't care about. He said the only thing that was on my mind was that we just need to score. And if we score once, then we can score again. And it goes from 28-3 in the third quarter to we got a tied game at the end of the fourth quarter. Again, every statistical betting place had already wrapped it up that who was going to win the Super Bowl. Atlanta, not the Patriots. No team is down by freaking almost 25, 30 points in the first half of the Super Bowl and comes back to win it. When's the last time somebody saw a Super Bowl game being won in overtime? These things don't happen. As a matter of fact, a lot of you all out there are in a phase of your life where you're like, you know what, I'm not going to get in overtime. I got to make every freaking shot count right now. And I'm telling you guys, all you're doing is just wearing down a clock that you could approach so much more different. As long as there's time, there's going to be time for you to think and be mindful about what you're going to do. And not for you to have the assumptive behaviors that lead you into making even a larger, even a worse situation, even more worse. These things, guys, you got to understand this, guys. Like, you have an opportunity to be championship level literally every single day of your life. And being a champion doesn't necessarily mean that you're coming out the gates on fire like the 2016 Warriors. You guys got to absorb that a little bit. Like when they were under the radar, they came in and took the championship. Not because people slept on them. Because they were clear in their direction. All of a sudden, expectations get skewed for them. They became assumptive. They figured, hey, Steph is bound to explode for a 30-point game. Hey, down by 4, Steph is bound to throw up a 3-pointer from half court and get fouled at the same time, and we're going to win the game this way, some heroic fashion, because it had been done so many times before. But guys, what they did in that series had nothing to do with mindfulness. It had to deal with you assuming that this is what the outcome is going to be. And that's your death. That is the death of a lot of you all's dreams right now. You're assuming what the outcome is going to be. I need you not to assume. I need you to stay in the moment on purpose without any judgment, guys. Last example for you guys. And like I said, this is probably the best example. If you have not seen this, yes, it's black and white, but I'm telling you right now, go YouTube 1968 Bruins versus the Houston Cougars. You'll be amazed by what you're going to hear in this game. We got probably one of the greatest college basketball teams at that time, UCLA Bruins, going against the most under the radar team at that time, the Houston Cougars. Small team, Houston. Big national team. Guys, they played so many mind games. The Bruins played the kind of mind games on the Houston Cougars you would see on like a pro WWE kind of level. I mean, they changed the venues up. They said, don't even get comfortable in a college stadium. We're going to play this out in the Houston Astrodome just to intimidate them. These guys came to the table, the Bruins, they had like the greatest basketball coach at that time, John Wooden. They had what's considered one of the greatest scorers of all time in NBA, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, before he became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor. Guys, they were stacked. They were supposed to win this. They already won it. These guys were sitting here I think 47-0. Like 47 games straight. They won this. How did they end up doing this though? How did they go from being a team that was assumptive to lose it to a team that just stayed mindful? It came down to 2 minutes. And this is why I saved this one for you guys, because you guys will look at the Warriors and you'll say, well, yeah, but I mean, Coach G, how many years did they suck? And then they won and then they lost. And you look at the Cavs and you might come to your own conclusions about that guy. I'm telling you, this right here, this talks to about 2 minutes of your life. That's why I love wrestling, guys. Wrestling, well, the real wrestling, not Reigns and Sting and WWE and all that kind of stuff, but real, like high school wrestling. You got 3 2-minute rounds, and it's just 2 minutes where you got to be completely invested in what is happening in front of you in that moment. Your attention goes any place else, you lose or get hurt. Period. Any combat sport is like that. Hell, swimming, it's like that. If you lose your focus, you're going to get hurt doing what you set out to do. Here, it just took 2 minutes, guys. The score is literally tied. 69-69. 2 minutes left in the game. Free throws already been made. All of a sudden, the Bruins make a bad pass. To this day, you watch the videos, it's still described as one of the biggest mental lapses in college basketball. Why? Not because he made a pass, but no, he passed up the #1 scorer on his team who was wide open. Guys, in 2 minutes, a dynasty was taken down by the little man. In a matter of 2 minutes. So here's the deal. I don't care how you think of yourself. Do you consider yourself the dynasty already right now? Maybe shit's already going great for you right now. I'm here to tell you that if you can't be mindful with your dynasty, you'll have someone a heck of a lot smaller who you never assume come along and take it all away from you. Just that quick. And maybe you say, you know what, Coach G, look, I'm nowhere near a dynasty. As a matter of fact, I'm just in the pits right now of my life, and I'm that low dude right here. I'm definitely not worth going to a finals. I'm that guy never even spoken of, like a Houston Cougars. I just fall underneath the radar all the time. Well, I'm here to tell you, 2 minutes of you just staying mindful in your endeavors allows you to do something greater than what a dynasty can do. It works either way. You get a chance to pick the playing field, and you get a chance to pick which direction you're going to approach with this. This all comes back to you guys. Again, our thoughts, it's about you. HabitLand, it's the place you go to. Mindfulness, it's the championship principle you need to have working for you guys literally almost every day of your life. This is like cancer medicine. I don't care how great your life is, take it. I don't care how horrible it may feel if you don't want to get out of bed, take it. You need it. Listen guys, that's my time today. Like I said before, tomorrow, New York City, check the feeds. I'm going to be posting live. Greatness Awaits Conference. HabitLand speech is going down. I need to see you guys' faces, your thumbs up, your loves, your likes, your all that great stuff. Until then guys, remember, kick ass. Get out of HabitLand. Peace. Oh, wait. By the way, next week, we're breaking down mindset. Like principles of mindset. Like you guys are going to understand how to have a mindset that's better than you out here trying to seek some motivation. Man, next week, brothers and sisters. Love you guys. Peace.